Hello YouTube, this is Miss Adventures, and I'm in Chile, Alberta, Canada. And I use the term selfie whisperer because I'm not much for selfies, and I'm more comfortable behind the camera, but there's never a perfect time. There's never perfect equipment and perfect condition and blah blah blah. So I thought I'd give it a go, and the reception has been really positive. So if you notice, uh, it's balmy -7 outside, and it's going to go down to -6, but we're getting rain, and they call it freezing rain. Now, if you're on the East Coast, it's called sleet. If you're on the West Coast, it's called freezing rains. The weatherman refuses to use the term sleet. So you'll notice here I have my buddy heater, and I just turned it up because the weather kind of got a little chilly. Above it is what I was talking about previously. So what happens is, and I have it pointing up, although I'll fix that later on. I still need to put notches in it so that it sits directly on the grill. And what it does is the warm air rises, which is why I have up here I have aluminum foil, because before the warm air would rise and then be absorbed by the ceiling and then the insulation and go out the ceiling. So by putting the aluminum foil up here, which is a decorator's nightmare, but it's very practical because then the warm air goes up and then comes back down again. I bought this shower curtain, and it's actually doubled. What happened is everything falls apart. The piece here fell off, and that was the track for the door that you know, for the bathroom. And it's always wonky. It drives me nuts. So I'm going to actually remove the door. And it turns out that this is a nylon shower curtain, and it's the same material that you make sleeping bags with. So it's really, really good. So don't use cloth, use nylon. And I like the color, and it's funky, and if you look beyond it, you see the color of my bathroom walls is a purple, a mauve. I'm making my bathroom look like it's gonna look like a jewelry box. It's really cool. Now, so the shower curtain goes, you know, has similar colors. I love pink and purples, and it's funky, but it's not too much pattern, because that drives me bananas. And then, as you notice, my cabinets here and here are white. And the reason the cabinets are white is from all of the Pinterest pictures that I looked at. The white cabinets seem to open up the RV more, and it looks cleaner and it looks cheerful, but most importantly at night, white reflects light so that it looks bright even at night. And then I have these Christmas lights that are strung out, and they're battery operated from a box that is right by my bed on the loft. And so I can turn them on, and then they all come on, and it's always cheerful, even at night. And it lights the way. It's not too super bright. It lights the way, and I like it. So what I do, very important for heating purposes. So the buddy heater has a hose and the hose goes all the way to, you see a little gap there, to the bathroom, and that's where my propane tanks are. And I have 20-gallon propane tanks. I think they're 20. And I have a 5-gallon as well. Now the reason this is important is because if something happens and they explode, I still have access to an exit here and 2 exits there. But if they were in between me, where I sleep or where I am, and an exit, I would have no chance. So normally they're outside in a container area, and what happens is it's behind the driver's seat. If I'm sideswiped, if I'm hit from the side, whether I'm parked and I'm inside the RV or I'm driving, I have no chance of escape. Whereas if they're in the bathroom, there's the bathtub, and then there's the back bumper. There's some protection. There's the closet. You know, there's protection there. Also, this nylon shower curtain is so good for insulation that the bathroom can be frozen while it's warm in here. I mean, literally the bathroom freezes and is much colder while it's warm in here. All my windows are covered with 2 layers of bubble wrap, clear bubble wrap, with the bubbles facing out. And so I have the bubbles facing out on the inside of the windows, and then I have another layer over the window frames as well. And because the window frames are metal and they turn to ice, literally you have ice over the metal frame. So by putting the bubble wrap over it, I'm insulating the RV from the cold that is being conducted through the metal. And it's a double layer, but also because I have I don't know, I guess you can't see it, an additional nylon black shower curtain, and then I have that is over the insulation, that is, you know, that metallic insulation that everybody loves. Last year I covered the windows strictly with that metallic insulation and over all the windows, so I had no light except from above. And I had all these gallons of water, and they froze, but I held on to them because I'm like, well, I have water, I can always melt. And what happened, and I had wrought iron stuff, and what happened was that I created a freezer. And there were times where I would step outside and it was warmer outside than in the RV. So I learned my lesson. And the lesson is that the sun is your friend. You want the sun to shine through. You want the sun to warm up your RV as much as possible because it's free. So today is overcast, but I still have light. I still have warmth coming in, because what happens is when the sun hits the black from the shower curtain, the black shower curtains that are along the bottom, like I always leave 6 inches without anything, and then the bottom part has the black over the metallic insulation, and then over that I have also I bought the cheap what's it called? Anyways, I bought some additional insulation that's cheap. It'll come to me. I'm still recovering from sleep deprivation, and it was just not working. So it fell apart on me. Now you'll notice I have wallpaper along one wall, and then I stopped, and there's no wallpaper. It looks tacky. The reason is because I had bought all this wallpaper, beautiful wallpaper, that I got, you know, secondhand stores, rolls of it. There was the red with the gold. There was the zebra pattern. There was this one, and then there's another one that's textured. And I had this fantasy of wallpapering everything. And I noticed I had some areas where I had some mold. I had areas where the next year, especially at the bottom of windows, I was getting mold, mildew, bugs, whatever. So I cleaned that up, and I realized the wallpaper, A, it's flammable, not good. So it just adds to the flammable factor. B, cockroaches and bugs love, and mildew and mold love wallpaper. And so covering up a deficiency does not make it go away. So and also the red and the gold at night, the red looks black. And it absorbs the light instead of reflecting it. So, and you want to reflect light. So sadly, I gave away my wallpaper and I decided to go with paint. And if I see an area that has some mildew or some mold, I spray it with straight vinegar. They say vinegar water. Don't dilute it. Straight vinegar. Go for it. And then let it dry. And then there's cans of Kills. Kills. It's like a white paint. And you spray the Kills. And it covers it up, but it also kills. It basically engulfs it. And so it doesn't go through Kills. And because you'll still have like the color, the mold, the discoloration, and then paint over that. And the other thing that paint does is, even though you've cleaned the cabinets, they have the smells from the previous owner. This RV was so disgusting when I bought it. They were using it for a hunting RV, like a hunting vehicle. I found bullets. I found bullet shells. I found little doobies. I found bugs. I found just snot. It was disgusting. Okay, I cussed them out. They didn't hear me cuss them out, but maybe they got like the shivers. I was mad, but it was, how could anybody be so careless? So little by little, I ran out of paint, and then I ran out of time. Because, and when I say I ran out of time, it froze, like we had winter hit. So I'm going to paint it again, do a second coat so it looks a little better. I'm going to take off this wallpaper that I did, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint that wall. If I want it to look nice, I have these static stickers. It's the latest trend. They're like $30 for a sheet of static stickers at Walmart or any other store. But if you buy them at the Dollarama, they're $2 to $3, and they're just the same thing. So I buy them at the Dollarama, and then they're static, so they come off if I wanted to. They're not permanent. There's no glue involved. And they're indoor, outdoor. They're waterproof. So I put my feet up. So it's actually really good, and then I can also do stenciling, which I want to do. So little by little, I'm not in a hurry. I don't have a deadline. It's not perfect. And I want to wash. And the nice thing about having something like this is I can take it down and wash it, and then put it back up. I have all of the equipment to put a bar across there so that I can hang up this shower curtain. I wanted to touch the floor. I wanted to touch the floor because cold air comes through the floor. So I want it to touch the floor. I don't want it too high. And I do want it lower, a little low, you know, not completely on top, because then I have air circulation, warm air still travels. I have the vent, because I covered up this vent and I covered up the one just above me which leaks. I only have really access to the one above the loft, which I opened. I actually, that's why I'm chilled. So that one's open right now, and that one's open. And I do that when I'm cooking, which I was cooking, to get rid of, you know, any kind of toxic air, or and then also to do some air circulation, get some oxygen in here. The one above the loft is not covered, because that one is covered, you know, with those big covers. So what happens is when you have those big covers, if there's snow, you might open it up thinking that you've got air coming in, but you don't. And so the other one is good as well. Ever since I've put this, and I've actually considered putting this upside down, so that, and I might look at putting notches so that I can do it, and then have the airflow coming in from this part, or getting one that's bigger so that the airflow is coming out of it. It's not restricting the airflow. And my concern is that it would overheat. You know, the hot air would back up and it would overheat that area. So I'm looking at different options here. And if you notice, I've painted the light fixtures the same color as the bathroom. I had some paint left over, and I just around the light fixtures, and it looks nice. I find patterns are distracting, and so I was going to show you my guitar. I got this for $10. Turns out they sell it at Walmart for $14, and I had just had a friend put in a string for me. I played the ukulele, and I won an award in school. I was really good at it, and then I stopped, and I always wanted to learn, and I want to do some music for my some videos and just some background music. Doesn't sound too bad. It's an acoustic, and that was the thing. The regular acoustic guitars, they're just too big, you know, and so space is an issue. And the ukulele is just too small. So so that was it. And right now I'm just getting my fingers used to it. I'm plucking. So and then I have I know it's ridiculous, but I also have a little one of those electronic pianos over here, and so I also play that, and right now I'm just getting my fingers used to not dropping keys, and I'm getting my fingers used to the placement, and I'm plucking. I'm not really playing songs. I'm just, you know, strumming, just kind of getting my ear used to it, my fingers used to it, and then I'll explore music rather than explore the instruments rather than just try to mimic. And then there's some songs I want to play for my own sake, kind of getting me used to the different chords and notes and things like that. So that's the beauty of you know, music. I paid $10 for this. I paid $25 for the piano. And how I have things organized right now, which is not, I have this couch area which is covered with clutter and a lot of renovation stuff. So it's use it or lose it. So I have to let go of a lot of stuff still. And then behind me is all my electronic equipment, all of my cords, and I have 2 laptops, so and backup stuff. And then I have a over there another bin like this one, which is full of art supplies and some books. So again, I'm still downsizing, I'm still getting rid of stuff. I'm still, it's a personal philosophy, right? It's like, what business am I in? You know, I decided I was going to make jewelry, but I'm competing with the Dollarama on making jewelry. So I'm making other kinds of symbolic items to go with when I do readings. So, what? What did you just say? So, I'll cover that in another video. This one's a little too long and I'm going to have to cut it back and do some editing. So, I'm too relaxed. Be safe. Always make sure you have vents open when you're cooking, when you're dealing with butane or propane. And make sure there's nothing flammable around. This buddy heater, if I'm trying to heat the RV and the floor, I'll go ahead and put it down on the floor, but I'll make sure that there's nothing around it. And then if I'm trying to warm up the seal, you know, the rest of the RV, especially my bed, I'll have it up here. And if it tips over, it shuts off automatically. If it's low oxygen, it shuts off automatically. So those are the 2 safety features that I really appreciate. And I want to thank the people who made the buddy heater with these safety issues, because it was long needed. And then you'll notice behind me this flashing here. So what happens is, because I'm dealing with flames sometimes when I'm cooking, and there's fabric here on this seat, because this is a bench. What I did is I put up this flashing. I put it down on where I'm cooking, as well as the flashing is just going around this way, and the purpose is to protect the RV, the walls, some people put cute curtains right by the stove. No, don't do that. So it's to protect the RV from anything flammable possibly getting to the rest of the RV and setting on fire. So, and it's really helpful. So be safe, and it is a fun lifestyle. It really is, to be able to travel, to be able to do things. But sometimes you have to stay put. Sometimes you have to stay in your town and get things done. I'm on a waiting list for surgery. So I'm staying put, because if they call me, if there's a cancellation and they call me, then I could get in early, and that's what I'm counting on. And then I could have the screws taken out of my leg, and then I have 2 weeks to recover. So I'm preparing for that. You stay safe. This is Miss Adventures, your selfie whisperer.